Welcome back to another episode of Tiny Kitchen Cooks. This is Cameron Kirk Rush, and today we are making one of my favorite things. We are going to be making homemade breakfast sausage with 2 ingredient biscuits and of course sausage gravy. So we'll start with the homemade sausage. For our mise en place, we have the following. We have half a kilogram or approximately 1 pound of ground pork. Now this happens to be kotobuta pork, which if you don't know what that is, that's kind of like wagyu of pork. We have 1 tablespoon of cane sugar syrup. Now, if you have maple syrup, that would be better, but I currently don't have it, and cane sugar syrup is just as easy to use. We have 1 tablespoon brown sugar. We have 1 tablespoon olive oil. We have 1 teaspoon salt. We have a half a teaspoon of dried sage. We have a half a teaspoon of dried oregano. We have a half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Then we have a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and a 1/4 teaspoon of chili flake. Now we just need to add everything and mix together. I'm going to put on some gloves for this because it does get a little bit messy. So first we're going to add in our kotobuta pork into a nice mixing bowl. Next, we're going to add our olive oil, followed by our brown sugar, followed by our cane sugar syrup, followed by our salt, followed by our sage, followed by our oregano, followed by our ground black pepper. And last but certainly not least, our nutmeg and chili flake. Next, we're just going to mix everything together. So this is what you're left with. Next, we're going to go ahead and cover this with some plastic wrap and then put it into the fridge for at least 1 hour. You can leave it up to overnight. Next, for our biscuits, we've got a mixing bowl ready to go, and this is literally 2 ingredients. Because we're using self-raising flour, all you need is 2 cups self-raising flour, 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream, and because heavy whipping cream already has all the milk solids that you need that you would get from butter, you don't need to use butter. So here we go. We're going to add our 2 cups of self-raising flour, and into that we're going to add 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. Here's 1 cup. Here's half a cup. Okay, so now we have our ingredients added. Just mix until everything comes together. You do not need to overmix it. I'm starting out just kind of swirling. Then I will get the sides. There's going to be a little bit of mess. We'll clean that up later. The key is do not overwork your dough. Simply put, bring everything together. Let it be a little bit clumpy because that's going to provide a flakier and more delicious biscuit. Okay, so this is what you're left with. Now, the next thing we want to do is cover with a tea towel and just let sit for about 20 minutes. Okay. The dough has been resting for a while, so next we're going to spread it out and we're going to portion it. So here it goes. First of all, I have prepared over here parchment paper, and we're going to take our dough and put it on that and roll it out flat. So next we're going to roll our dough out flat. A good suggestion is to use a little bit of flour to coat your rolling pin. To make our biscuits, we want about a 1/2 inch thickness or about 2 centimeters. We'll use a glass cup to make our biscuits. Anything that's left over, we will reincorporate and flatten out again and do such. And repeat as follows. Okay, next, we have our prepared pan, which has been buttered, and we're going to place our biscuits into the pan. So we're left with something that looks like this, and this is going to go into the oven. Okay, so I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or approximately 205 degrees Celsius. We're going to now add our biscuits and we will bake as such. Okay, meanwhile, we're going to portion out our pork. Next, now that we have everything nice and proportioned, we will fry it off. So here goes. And finally, to make the gravy, we're going to add a little bit of butter. This is about a tablespoon. And then we will add flour a little bit at a time to make a roux. Of oil just to loosen things up. Okay, now all we have left to do is to plate it up. So here we go. Take out our delicious biscuits, which look like this. I'm just going to quickly take a fork and split them in half, like such. And then onto that, I'm going to add our delicious sausage gravy. And this is what we're left with. I'm going to take a bite and see how it is. Delicious, tender and flaky biscuits, and the sausage gravy is so delicious. So easy to make. I hope you enjoy.
Any kitchen cooks